I'm so used to saying we're alive. Tonight it's just I'm live. Hey folks, Mobile Giza here. And it is Friday Night Tech Talk, but for the first time you're getting just me. I don't know how disappointed you'll be with that, but I had a scheduled guest, my friend Steve Warman from the UK, but at the last minute, the day before yesterday, I gather his mother has some health issues and she worsened in some way in the last couple of days, so he felt like he had to be there to take care of his mother, and I'm down with that, and that's fine with me. So tonight will be just a rather abbreviated version of Friday Night Tech Talk. It's just me, and as I told you before, going forward, the first 3 Fridays of every month will be Mike, Will, and I as usual. Fourth Friday, if it's the last Friday of the month, will be hopefully my friend Steve from the UK. And like this month and next month, when there's 5 Fridays, the fourth Friday will be my friend Mark from Minnesota, and the 5th Friday will be my friend Steve. We're here to confuse you. So anyway, tonight you get just me, and so I'll basically kind of give you a little bit of the news from this week, and I'll go through the stories that I had picked out to share with you guys, and you guys let me know what you think. I hope you're not too disappointed with it being only me, because it's much more exciting when the other guys are here. But I will do my best to carry on. So let me see if I can pull this up on Facebook to make sure I can see it. And yes, I do. Okay. So now I can see your comments. And so I'm going to go on to the first story. Remember, you can watch me when I'm broadcasting from my channel on Facebook, on the George Hayes channel, or you can watch me here on YouTube. So I'm going to bring up the first story. I'm going to share the screen. And of course, since I'm broadcasting on Black Friday, I figured I should pull up a few Black Friday deals. And this is from TheVerge.com. I pulled it up on Tuesday, but I'm sure these deals are still going on. So I just figured I'd show you a few deals. You know where to go look for the deals. Best Buy, Walmart, Target, you know where. So I'll just give you a few deals that I saw. So since this was Tuesday, Black Friday countdown deals, Google Pixel Slate, 50% off, popular games, and more. A glimpse at today's new deals. So this said Black Friday is almost here, kicking off this Friday, November 29th today. In the days leading up to the big shopping weekend, we've been highlighting a few of the best deals we've seen so far. Just below, you can find some new picks for today, as well as a few other excellent deals you should know about. This list includes the biggest discount we've seen on the Apple Watch Series 5, the Pixel Slate Bundle, game deals, $200 off the new Google Pixel 4, and more. Deals happening now. Google's Pixel Slate Chrome OS tablet, pictured above, is cheaper than it's ever been. And select retailers, it comes with the Pixel keyboard and Pixel pen stylus with purchase, both of which were separate purchases. For starters, the entry model tablet has an 8th generation Intel Core M3, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage. It's now $449 and includes the keyboard and stylus from the Google Store, Best Buy, B&H Photo. Amazon deal only includes the keyboard, but it's still a good deal. The same deal is available at Best Buy and B&H Photo. Amazon offering a similar deal, minus the stylus. The upgraded Pixel Slate with the in-core i5 CPU, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage, is available for $649 a month, $600 off. That's not bad. From Amazon, no pen, Best Buy, and B&H Photo. Popular games for the PS4 and Xbox One are steeply discounted today, I guess, and still today, Friday. at Amazon and Best Buy, far steeper than Black Friday ads originally indicated. Borderlands 3 for the PS4, Best Buy Amazon, and Xbox One, Best Buy Amazon, is down to $27.99 from $59.99. Sounds like a great deal. Red Dead Redemption 2 for the PS4, Best Buy, and Xbox One, Best Buy is just $24.99. On your PC, you can pick up the excellent 2019 Resident Evil 2 remake for $20 from Steam's autumn sale. And while you're at it, consider picking up a Steam controller. It's your last chance, and while it's not a fit for everyone, it has a few unique abilities. Today, last Tuesday, Amazon knocked down the price of a bundle that includes the Ring Video Doorbell 2 and the Echo Show Smart Display. It's $139, which is a mere $10 more than the doorbell usually costs by itself. And I have the Video Doorbell 2, and I think that's a great deal. The Apple Watch Series 5 40mm GPS is $354.99. Amazon and Costco, which is $24 off. I think they made a misprint here. The 44mm version, Series 5, is $384.99. Amazon and Costco, which is also $24 cheaper than usual. At Amazon, you'll need to proceed to checkout to see the price drop reflected in the total. If you're not a Costco member, it will tack on a 5% fee amounting to around $20 in this case to the purchase total. LG's 55-inch B9 OLED 4K HDR TV is down to $11.99 at Amazon, Best Buy, and B&H Photo, normally $13.99. That sounds pretty good too. This is the 2019 model, and we had to wait a lot longer for the 2018 model to reach a price this low. So I guess they're saying it's a good deal. Sony's WH-1000XM3 wireless noise canceling headphones are down to $278 at Amazon and $279.99 at Best Buy. This matches the best deal we've seen. And if you want to cut out noise and have great sound, these are currently among the best out there. Microsoft Surface Pro is more affordable than ever, which is great considering that it recently released. At the Microsoft Store, the upgraded model with an Intel Core i5, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage costs $7.99, and it's bundled with a black type cover, usually sold separately. This model usually costs $8.99 by itself, so some pretty good deals. Also, this article has been updated since I first pulled it, but originally they had these let me pull down the article so you can see. I had these Jabra 65T earbuds, and I had been looking for a long time to try out the Jabra earbuds, and I had never gotten around to it. So it basically, I think, was $20 off. So for once, I actually bought something for myself for Black Friday. So that's what I picked up. So you guys know there's lots of places to see new deals. And let's see, I didn't recognize who was in here. Nigel was first. He beat 6 for a change, which was great. And let's see. When he first came in, Nigel said this. And 6's response was that. Okay. And now we have Will in here. Oh, thank you, Will. Really appreciate that. So, Will, it's just me tonight because my friend in England's mother got sick and he couldn't make it. So this is going to be a very short and unusual Friday Night Tech Talk. So everybody in the comments, say hello to Will because he's in here watching at least. All right, so we'll get on to my next story. And my computer's taking a minute to load things tonight. But the I thought this story was kind of a big deal considering the ongoing T-Mobile Sprint merger, or I should say merger attempt, I guess we could say. Let's see. Trying to wait for the story to load on my computer. Something's being bogged down, and I use OBS, so that sometimes bogs down my computer a bit. Sorry about the delay. Usually I have Will and Mike here so you guys take over, but it's on me tonight. So we'll see if it comes up. Okay, here it is. All right, so now I'll share the screen. We'll go over here. So you know that the deal has been approved basically by the feds, but there have been, I think it started out with 50 attorneys general, and then it dropped down. I think it was down to 20 or so attorneys general from different states, all suing to stop the merger deal. So the latest, Texas, and this is on CNBC, Texas and Nevada are the latest states to defect from the lawsuit against Sprint T-Mobile deal. The group of attorneys general looking to block the merger of Sprint and T-Mobile lost two more allies on Monday as Texas and Nevada announced they have come to a resolution with the mobile companies and will no longer look to block the deal. Colorado and Mississippi already dropped their challenges. With Texas's and Nevada's departures, 13 states and the District of Columbia are still fighting the deal. The $26 billion deal, announced in 2018, would shrink the number of U.S. mobile carriers from 4 to 3, inviting scrutiny from regulators. Sprint and T-Mobile have argued the combination will allow them to more broadly expand the 5G mobile network, which is expected to power the next generation of technology in the U.S. It would also help the two battle their larger rivals, Verizon and AT&T. While the deal has been approved by the Justice Department and the FCC, it has faced continued pushback from states. New York and California announced earlier this year they were leading a coalition of attorneys general in a suit to block the deal. That suit is part of a broader push from the attorneys general throughout the country to make their mark on antitrust, including investigations of Google and Facebook for possible violations. A spokesperson for the New York Attorney General's office told CNBC on Monday that the deal with Texas will not stop the suit from moving forward. The trial is expected to start December 9th, so we're less than 2 weeks away. New York Attorney General Letitia James has been an outspoken critic of deals and companies she views as anti-competitive. Today's deal does not resolve the fundamental anti-competitive concerns at the core of this case, that the mega merger of T-Mobile and Sprint will reduce the competition in the mobile marketplace, James said. There is no doubt that this merger remains bad for consumers, bad for workers, and bad for innovation, which is why we remain committed to litigating this matter and look forward to the commencement of trial in less than 2 weeks. As part of Sprint and T-Mobile's deal with Texas, the two have committed to holding off from raising prices on wireless services in Texas for 5 years. And that's interesting because the way they got the deal through with the feds, they promised they would not raise prices for 3 years. So Texas got 2 more years out of them. They have also committed to building out a 5G network for Texans following the deal's close. From John Legier's tweet, incredible news that the Texas AG Paxton is withdrawing from the state AG lawsuit to block the T-Mobile and Sprint merger. Texas knows that the new T-Mobile, that's what it's being called, will create jobs and deliver 5G to rural areas of the state and beyond. Key info. Our objectives in joining the initial lawsuit were to protect Texans from unnecessary price hikes and to ensure that Texans living in both urban and rural areas will not get stuck with substandard service as the market for wireless telecommunication services evolves to adapt new standards of technology with the power to transform the Texas economy. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton said in a statement. And if you've ever driven through Texas, you know there are lots of rural areas, huge ones. This agreement achieves those objectives, he added. Paxton was the only Republican Attorney General in the lawsuit. As part of its deal with Nevada, Sprint and T-Mobile deal have agreed to bring their 5G network to 83% of the state's rural communities and offer low price plans. I thought it was strange that it was only 83% because I would think they would have gone for 90 something, but just struck me as strange. Beyond these benefits, the new T-Mobile will make a significant investment to enhance service to our Native American tribal communities, contribute to programs that enhance opportunities for minorities, women, and small businesses. Because of these commitments, I can now support a merger that will preserve Nevada jobs and benefit consumers throughout our state, said Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford in a statement. So I'm thinking that you're going to see more and more of these states, with 13 states left in the District of Columbia. I'm guessing that Niger and T-Mobile and Sprint are going to find more and more ways to sweeten the deal on a state-by-state basis. And my guess is you're going to see more states dropping out of this lawsuit. I'd be surprised if the last two hangers-on, though, weren't New York and California, because they're the ones who are really, really against this deal. Interesting. So that's the second story from this week. Here's another story, if I can get it to pull up a little quicker. Probably not. Think of it this way, folks. It's pulling up in relation to my age, so you know it's going to be slow. See, anybody else? Okay, we've got Rob from RP3 Tech Reviews in here. Hey, Rob. Just me tonight. My scheduled co-host couldn't make it because he had some... his mother had some physical issues that he had to deal with this week. So it's going to be a short one tonight. Okay, this is our next story. I'm going to share the screen. And those of you who know who Ryan Reynolds is, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, Green Lantern, Detective Pikachu. So we're talking a pretty big actor here. So this is on GSM Arena. Hollywood actor Ryan Reynolds buys ownership in Mint Mobile. Today, Mint Mobile has a new owner. Famous movie actor Ryan Reynolds has purchased, an ownership stake in the U.S. carrier. The California-based network offers low-cost data plans with unlimited talk and text to folks who bring their own phones to the network. Mint Mobile is an MVNO that operates on T-Mobile's nationwide LTE network. His statement, while every other tech titan is off chasing rockets, I'll corner the budget-friendly wireless sector. Like most people, I only use rockets 10 to 12 times a year, but I use my mobile service every day. Mint Mobile currently offers a promotion of $45 for 3 months of service with 12 gigabytes of data per month. You renew your service by paying for a few months at a time, up to 12 months. After the promotional rate, it'll cost $75 to renew the 12 gigabyte plan for 3 months. Honestly, the pricing structure can be a bit confusing, so make sure you do enough research. And Mint Mobile, I gather, is getting big, but it sounds like you should really check it out before committing your money. Another statement from Ryan Reynolds, it's a bit unconventional, which is why I like it. Celebrities generally invest in high-end products like skincare brands or delicious gin companies, yet Mint is making wireless way more affordable at a time when the average American is paying $65 a month. I'm excited to champion a more practical approach to the most essential technology. Mint Mobile's consumer-centric approach and maniacal focus on getting customer value has kicked Mint into hyper-growth mode. It's fitting that the most disruptive wireless company is now owned by the most innovative marketer on the planet, explained Mint Mobile CEO David Glickman. A tweet from Ryan Reynolds, a tweet from Daniel Bader. Newest Mint Mobile customer, also owner of the company, He said to keep things above board, he'll be paying himself $15 a month. So Reynolds will help Mint's communication team, marketing efforts, and strategic decision making. Reynolds starred in both Detective Pikachu and Deadpool as their respective protagonists. So just thought it was interesting that a pretty big star like Ryan Reynolds is jumping into the tech game. So I just thought that was an interesting story. And I think it took a lot of people by surprise. Will is asking, let's see. Will is asking, has anyone tried Mint? If you've tried Mint, put it in the comments. And because I haven't tried it, but I have been heard quite a bit of noise about it in the last few months. So it seems like a couple of other YouTubers have tried it, but I don't remember who it was. Yeah, and look at Six's comment to me. Yes, at Six, as soon as you fork over some money to the older generation, I'll go out and get that Cybertruck and I'll take you for a ride in it too. You know, you just feel free. Just give me a huge super chat. You know, about 50 grand. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Plus, that truck is pretty ugly, I think. But of course, being a driving nut that I am, I'll take whatever I can get that drives. All right. Now I just had a couple of stories I just thought was kind of interesting. Here we go. Here's an answer from Rob. I knew somebody had tried it. Thanks, Rob. So Rob is saying he has tried Mint and it is very good. So there you go, Will. And since it is an MVNO of T-Mobile, if you like T-Mobile, which you all know I love T-Mobile, it's probably a pretty good deal. So maybe we'll see Will having Mint next time we see him. Oops. There you go. Glad to be of service, Will. Or I guess Rob's glad to be of service. All right, my next story is back to another Google story. Google is having more problems with their employees. So I just thought it was interesting since most of us are big Android fans. So this is on The Verge. And Google is accused of union busting after firing 4 employees. Walkout organizers claim all 4 fired Googlers were taking a stand. On November 22nd, so last Friday, roughly 200 Google employees and supporters rallied to protest the suspension of 2 colleagues, Rebecca Rivers and Lawrence Berland, for allegedly accessing internal information they shouldn't have in the course of their worker activism. Now it appears Google has fired both these workers, as well as 2 other employees who participated in the rally. Bloomberg reports that Google sent out a company-wide memo today confirming that it had fired 4 employees for clear and repeated violations of our data security policies, saying those workers were involved in systematic searches for other employees' materials and work, continued to do so after warnings, and leaked some of that information outside the company. Google confirmed to Bloomberg and The Verge that the memo was legitimate. In response, the 2018 Google Walkout Organizers Group is accusing the company of union busting, claiming in a blog post on Medium that the company is illegally retaliating against prospective union organizers like Rivers and Berland and changing its policies to let it fire whomever it chooses. When it previously allowed employees to freely access documents from across the company. The Google Walkout Group claims that all 4 employees fired today participated in the November 22nd rally. The Tech Workers Coalition has spoken out against the firings as well. The workers are being called the Thanksgiving Four. And tweeting Tech Workers Coalition, Google fired the Thanksgiving Four for organizing at work. We're calling on others to offer jobs to the Thanksgiving Four and to those remaining at Google to speak out against this draconian act. This is meant to scare workers. Don't let it. And there's a link to a Bloomberg article. Rivers reportedly organized Google workers to protest the company doing business with U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Yes, and that's when they were doing some kind of military work. And Google dropped it, I guess, with too much heat. Rivers confirmed on Twitter that she'd been terminated. Berlin's didn't immediately respond to our request for comment. It's not clear who the other two staffers are or whether another staffer reportedly fired on November 12th was among the four who had been dismissed. That seems likely, but perhaps it's 5 employees in total. When we asked Google to confirm or deny the walkout organizers' claims, Google declined to comment. No surprise there. Tensions have seemingly been high inside Google for many months, as tech workers found they have the power to protest such things as reports of sexual harassment, a censored Chinese search engine, and a controversial AI drone program for the Pentagon. Yeah, they got Google to stop that one. Some 20,000 Google employees staged a walkout last November to protest sexual misconduct by Google executives, most recently leading to an investigation by the company's board. But one way or another, Google seems to be pushing employee organizers out of the company. Claire Stapleton and Meredith Whitaker, two organizers of that Google walkout, alleged they have been retaliated against by company management and wound up leaving in June and July, respectively. I remember that. Some employees participated in a sit-in to protest against that alleged retaliation, and walkout organizers demanded that Google investigate its own HR department. In September, Google reached a settlement with the National Labor Relations Board that required it to clarify its policies do not prevent employees from discussing workplace issues. The New York Times reported last week that Google has hired a consulting firm known for helping companies crack down against employee dissent, and one that explicitly advertises union vulnerability assessments among their services. Okay, an update added that Google declined to comment on the organized claims, but did confirm its own memo. So they're having these ongoing issues with their employees, and it seems like Google's trying to walk a fine line between allowing employees to protest and trying to stop a union from coming in, which most companies will fight hard against that. So just an ongoing story. My guess is we're going to hear much more about it. Here's a comment from Alan at Phone Tech at work. He says he's using Mint Mobile for 2 of his lines, Will. So Alan, I gather you're pleased with it also. Just post it in the comments and I'll put it up here. So at least we've got some good information about Mint Mobile. We know that Google's ongoing employee problems are still going on, and my guess is we haven't heard the last of that. And now I've got a story about the phone sales are going down. Sounds like Huawei and Samsung are kind of doing just fine once I get it to pull up. This is what you get when you deal with an old man in the 70s. Okay. So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I ate 2 big plates full, so it took me a while to recover. But working today did help. All right, got my next story up. I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see it. Okay, this is on cnet.com. Huawei, Samsung get a phone boost as consumers look for better value. However, overall phone sales slipped in the 3rd quarter, according to Gartner. Samsung sales dipped overall in the 3rd quarter. Smartphone sales dipped overall in the 3rd quarter, but Huawei and Samsung still managed to make gains, thanks in part to consumers looking for better value for their devices, according to a new report from market researcher Gartner. Okay, come on back. A Gartner report released Tuesday shows 0.4% decline in phone sales in the third quarter compared with the same period in 2018. Samsung, Huawei, and Apple all sold more phones in the quarter, while Apple saw a double-digit decline, according to Gartner. Today's smartphone user is opting for mid-tier smartphones over premium tier ones because they offer better value for the money, Anshul Gupta, Senior Research Director at Gartner, said in a statement. In addition, while waiting for 5G network coverage to increase to more countries, smartphone users are delaying their purchase decisions until 2020, which is what I said we should do last spring. Huawei had the biggest improvement in the third quarter, selling 65.8 million smartphones, an increase of 26% from a year earlier. That's pretty good. This comes as the Chinese company has had multiple run-ins with the U.S. government over security, resulting in its phones being hard to come by in America. Gartner expects Black Friday deals to lead to an increase in consumer demand for phones in the fourth quarter. And it seems like more and more people are looking for mid-range and budget phones. And I have a few I would recommend. Let me stop sharing the screen. I have the Xiaomi Mi A3, which I think is a terrific phone. That's like $250, maybe right now $200. And the Moto G7 Plus, also another really, really good deal for a budget phone. Again, I think it's in the $200 to $250 range. And that was not officially released in America, but I can tell you it works great on T-Mobile. And finally, my latest phone, this is the ZTE Blade 10, and this is a $179 phone. And I can tell you, this thing works absolutely great. And right now, ZTE is having their holiday sale. I posted something about it yesterday. And so now you can get the ZTE Blade 10 for $129. So there are some good phones to be had out there for that kind of money. So just wanted to agree that probably more and more people will be going to the more affordable phones. So let me get out of this story. And my last interesting story that I just thought was interesting that I just happened to come across the other day, once I get it to pull up. Okay. Computer is very slow today. Slower than usual, actually. And this story references Huawei Honor's latest 5G phone. And I just thought it was interesting that somebody's already coming up with a fairly affordable 5G phone. And this is on The Verge again. Honor, and this is in China, but I'm guessing it's going to start spreading at some point. But I just wanted to point out the price. Honor announces a $550 V30 Pro with 5G Kirin 990, doubling down on the hole punch display. Honor has announced the V30 and V30 Pro, the latest. You know, if you're not aware, Honor is a subset of Huawei, so they're their budget line, and they make pretty good phones. I haven't had one, but everybody that I know that has really like the Honor. So Honor has announced the V30 and V30 Pro, the latest in its range of generally impressive upper mid-range phones. The Honor V range is usually released globally as the View series and offers competitive specs based on parent company Huawei's latest technology. This year's View 20 debuted with a 48 megapixel camera, Kirin 980, and hole punch selfie camera, for example. And the Kirin 980, well, the Kirin processors in general are really, really excellent. The V30 Pro has a 6.57-inch 1080p screen with a double wide hole punch cutout. that's reminiscent of Samsung's Galaxy S10 Plus. Unlike that phone, however, Honor has included an 8-megapixel wide-angle selfie camera along with the regular 32-megapixel unit. Honor describes the finish on the device as the world's first Aurora Nano texture, though until we see it in person, it sounds like matte glass to us. I'll show a picture of it again at the top. Other specs include a 4100 milliamp battery with 40-watt charging that Honor claims can reach a 70% charge in 30 minutes. That's not quite as fast as the class-leading competing solution from Oppo, but it's certainly competitive with the broader market. Honor also offers 27-watt wireless charging that should get you to 52% in half an hour. The V30 Pro uses Huawei's Kirin 990 5G processor with the integrated next-gen connectivity, while the regular V30 makes do with a standard Kirin 990 and separate Marong 5000 5G modem. Another difference between the two is that the Pro has a higher resolution 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera, while the V30 has an 8-megapixel sensor, which could make a difference since Honor is making the same pro-grade videography claim for the ultra-wide that Huawei pushed with its Mate 30 Pro. The phones otherwise share the same 40-megapixel primary camera, 8-megapixel telephoto, and dual selfie lenses. The V30 Pro costs 3,899 yuan, 550, for a model with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, while the 8 gigabyte 256 gigabyte version is 4,199 yuan, $600. The non-Pro V30 sells for 3,299 yuan, $370 for the 6 gigabyte 128 and 3,699 yuan for the $525 for the 8 gigabyte 128 gigabyte version. No word on a V30 released outside of China, but if you live in the West, you'll probably want to wait for word on when or whether Huawei will ever be able to ship a phone with Google services. So I just thought it was an interesting story, and there's the phone. I just thought it was an interesting story because you're getting 5G for what, $550? So it's already coming down, and maybe by next year there'll be enough 5G around for us to actually use it. Now, of course, if they're Huawei and Honor phones, until they fix their problems with the U.S. government, probably wouldn't do much good here, but I'm sure Nigel could use it, and my friend Steve in the UK also. So anyway, I just thought that was an interesting story, being as affordable as that phone is. So that is all I've got tonight, folks. And I hope it wasn't too terribly boring with just me here. But like I said, Steve's mom had health issues, so he couldn't make it. But next week should be back with Will and Mike as usual, and that'll be the first 3 weeks of December. So that'll be the 6th, 13th, and 20th. And then for the last week, it should be me and Steve from the UK. So thanks for tuning in. Will, thanks for the super chat. And once I get co-host back with me, we'll do a little bit longer because I'll have people to discuss this with. But at least we got some good information from Alan and from Rob about Mint Mobile, and maybe we'll see one on one of Will's phone very soon. So once again, thanks for tuning in, folks. And I'm not sure what channel we'll be on. I guess next week we'll be on either Will or Mike's channel, but I will let you guys know as soon as I know which one we're going to be on. So thanks for tuning in. And Friday Night Tech Talk will be back, I believe, with all three of us next week. So see you next time, folks. Have a great weekend.